Another question. Do you still own the black and white Sabre played in Blizzard or any of the Washburn signature models played in Quiet Riot?
Actually, in with Ozzy, it was a Sabre Music Man, black. That got stolen
Either.
in the studio. I was going to use it for the remaining tracks of the Metal Health album, and it got stolen. Um let's see, the stripe, black and white stripe one. No, years ago, this is what happened. I had it stored, and I took it out. This is like in late 1990s. I took it out of storage, and I took it out of the case, and went to play it, and it had duct tape behind, because I used to put duct tape, because I used to wear studded belts. We all did back then, and I used to like indent the
Yeah.
back of the
Yeah.
bass. So I figure, we would put duct tape to keep that from happening really deep, to protect it
Yeah.
a bit. And so I started removing the duct tape, and the wood started coming up. Then I realized this is particle wood. When the base is laid
Oh,
on. So I put the tape back on, and soon after that, there was like a frenzy from Japan. People in LA, there would be like agents that would represent somebody in Japan, and they were buying all these vintage instruments from bands from the 80s that were not using them anymore, right? So I get
mhm.
contacted by this guy, and I say, "Yeah, I got that bass right here. You can pick it up. It's going to be this much." And they bought it, and it's somewhere
Wow.
in Japan. It might be, you know, just pieces of particles
Right.
laying
Right. Disintegrated by now.
disintegrated in a box. Who knows?
Right. Now, is there a base that you had lost, gotten rid of, whatever, that you wish you had to this day?
Yeah, and it was not a bass that I used a whole lot, but just because of it was in 1952. Fender. Well, it wasn't even a precision. I think it was a Telecaster. It was like the first bass built, the first model of the bass, asbestos pickguard, and it was in pristine condition. I bought it from Steve's Guitar in Minneapolis in 1984 for $1,500. 15. It had a lipstick pickup, asbestos pickguard.
Yeah.
It was like
Hmm.
perfect, right? Uh, and so I bought it, but you know what? I couldn't use it for recording. I couldn't play with it, because every time I would do a session, they would expect me to walk in with a souped up preamped, either a Music Man, or something that had a lot of output preamp
Yeah.
wise. And so I didn't play it. I just sat at home, and the original seller contacted me and says, "Hey, if you ever want to sell it back, I'll give you exactly what you pay for it." And I say, "Yeah, it's just sitting here. Here, let me just ship it to you." So I sold it back to him. But now, in hindsight, it's in 1952.
Well, they do have you probably heard this thing that Paul McCartney just got his one of his original Hofners back. There is
Yeah,
now a thing out there like Bass Finder, where you put
yeah.
in the numbers of what your bass was and people find it. So,
I have no idea what.
if anybody out there has Rudy's bass, let's talk about it and see if we can get it back to
That's okay. No, the
him.
one I would really love to get back is my original Sabre, the black,
Okay.
two pickups, Music Man. It's I bought it in 1981, so it's either 81 or 80 or 79.
Yeah, that one was stolen.
That was stolen.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for joining our Living in the Limelight podcast with your host, Anton Scholl. Please feel free to comment, like, follow, share, and subscribe, and also add us to your playlist on your favorite streaming sites. Thanks again for joining, and we'll talk to you again next week.